All right, breaking news coming in. As far as the cricket world is concerned, the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association has refused to host the two India versus England under-19 cricket matches to be held in Chennai in February. India today is in possession of the letter written by TNCA, that is the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association, to the BCCI, in which they cite domestic programs scheduled during this period for not being able to host the match. Interestingly, the letter is on the TNCA letterhead, which states N. Srinivasan as the president. However, according to the Supreme Court order, Srinivasan stands disqualified based on the age and tenure gaps. So, the big question is the fallout of the Supreme Court order, and if Srinivasan stands, his presidentship stands cancelled, then how much of this weightage this letter would have, and how is the new expected changes in the BCCI are going to tackle this? Very in a short while, we are just going to go across to my colleague Shobit. Shobit, is this an expected hit back from the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association at the BCCI after the Supreme Court came down hard at them?
Well, Ankit, it was believed that the old guard of BCCI might try and create problems in cricketing matters and might try and disrupt matches. We can't say that for sure. However, this comes soon after the Supreme Court order on the BCCI and their office bearers. Now, this is the letter that India today has accessed, and this is written on the letterhead of the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association to the BCCI, and they say they cannot host two matches, India versus England under-19, which were scheduled to be held in Chennai from 13th to 16th and 21st to 24th of February. Now, two interesting points. First of all, they refuse to host matches. Secondly, it also states president as Mr. N. Srinivasan. Now, Mr. N. Srinivasan, according to the Supreme Court order, stands disqualified based on age and tenure guidelines. Let me go across to our consulting editor, Boria Majumdar, on this. Boria, interesting development. Can we call this a direct fallout of the Supreme Court order?
Yes, clearly you can. I mean, this is disappointing, this is unfortunate, and if you're a cricket fan, this is an alarming sign, Shobit, there is no doubt about it. I mean, if you read between the lines, what is the most important job of a cricket association? To stage cricket matches. Now tell me, India versus England under-19 is an international fixture. I mean, if you do not want to host an international fixture, then what do you want to host? Has it ever happened in the past that an association which is ready, its cricket ground is ready, there is no problem, no court order, nothing like that, has refused to host an international fixture like this? I don't recollect from my sense of cricket history. So this is clearly an act of defiance, a brazen act of defiance, which for me is disappointing, which for me is alarming, and I hope the Lodha committee is listening, because this is clearly, if you read, 6th of January is the date of that letter. According to the Supreme Court order, the office bearers cease and desist to be office bearers forthwith from 3rd of Jan. So clearly this, as far as I'm concerned, is a clear breach of that Supreme Court order.
Right. It also says, Boria, that TNCA will be unable to host matches at Chennai due to various domestic programs scheduled. They have not mentioned which programs. However, TNCA, I'm sure, has more than one cricket ground where, if they were willing, they could have hosted matches.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at the TNPL. How many cricket grounds were used during the TNPL? So why is it that domestic matches cannot be, held in those grounds where the Tamil Nadu Premier League was just hosted about 1.5 months back? There is no reason. And what is more important, a domestic program, quote unquote, or India versus England under-19, which is an international fixture, which will supply cricketers for the India national team, the senior team? Look, the BCCI management now was under serious pressure. The management which is now in charge, the general managers, the CEO, etc., was under serious pressure from the ousted old guard like Amitabh Chaudhary and the rest, and here Mr. Srinivasan. Hats off to them and the selectors for selecting the Indian team. They did a great job not succumbing to that pressure, and thanks to the Lodha committee. But if this is the way cricket is made into a pawn, efforts are on to derail matches on ground, efforts are on to derail Indian cricket, then it is very unfortunate and very sad. I hope the Lodha committee is listening. I hope the Lodha committee in its meeting on the 11th of January takes note of this, and I hope the Supreme Court will be informed about this development.
One more question, Boria. Now, this has happened thrice in the recent past when associations have refused matches. Now, the Delhi Association did it in January 2016 after being snubbed by the Delhi High Court. Now, Baroda Association did it in 2013 because they had polls during the same dates, and Jharkhand Association in 2008 when Tata Steel did not hand over the stadium to them. Now, any such news we are hearing why TNCA may have certain obligations due to which they may not be able to host these matches?
No, there is no such news at all. I mean, that's the point. The three you cited, Tata Steel not giving the ground to Jharkhand is a different matter. They did not have the ground. You know, the case of Delhi Cricket Association, there was a High Court snub. In the case of Baroda, clearly there were polls, there were problems. But in this case, there is nothing. You are citing domestic programs. What is the domestic program? Is it a cricket match? If it's not a cricket match, your job primarily as a cricket association is to host cricket matches. There are many other cricket grounds in Tamil Nadu. Why can't programs be used there? I mean, this is a clear act of brazen defiance. This is an act to derail Indian cricket, to harm Indian cricket, clearly taking on this bite to the Supreme Court.
All right, thank you, Boria. Ankit, over to you.
Thank you so much, Shobit and Boria, for giving us all those details. This is going to be the new battleground as far as the BCCI's continuance defiance is concerned. Well, moving on, we are all right. Okay, so we are just going across to Mr. Gopal Shankar Narayan. He is the secretary of the Lodha committee. Sir, you've just heard what my colleagues Boria Majumdar and Shobit were discussing. This letter has been sent by the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association. They are refusing to host 2 under-19 matches between India and England, saying that there are some domestic schedule there already on. How do you see this? Is it a defiance of the Supreme Court order, sir?
Well, the Supreme Court order is limited to the extent that it's dealing with the disqualification of the officials of the BCCI and the state associations. Now, I haven't seen that letter as such, but if that letter has been sent on the letterhead of the TNCA with the office bearers of the TNCA who stand disqualified, then that letter has no authority and should be treated as such by the BCCI. I would also believe that if the erstwhile office bearers who stand disqualified are purporting to act on behalf of the state association even now,
yes,
then there's a very good possible case of contempt being made out.
Sir, very important point you're making out there. Once again, for the benefit of our viewers, before, I just introduced my colleague Shobit, who's also wanted to ask you a question. This letter ahead, the letter that has been signed, the president still is being seen as Mr. Srinivasan, who was disqualified. So does this mean this letter has no value as of now?
What is the date of the letter? Because I have...
Let me just bring in Shobit, my colleague, on this. Shobit, if you could just clarify the date.
Absolutely. Sir, the letter is dated January 6, 2017. It clearly states N. Srinivasan as the president of the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association. This is clearly written after the Supreme Court order. So do you see this as a valid letter by association, or should Tamil Nadu first appoint new office bearers and then approach the BCCI?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Shankar Narayanan, this letter is dated January 6, 2017, and it states Mr. Srinivasan as the president.
Okay.
How would you read this, sir? Does he stand disqualified, or can he still act as the president of TNCA?
No, there's no doubt that he stands disqualified. I think the press over the last few days have also been carrying news about him as an erstwhile office bearer, holding meetings in other cities, etc. So I don't think there's a doubt from anybody's mind that he stands disqualified. He has more than 9 years in a state association, so he's out.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Shankar Narayan. Ankit, over to you.
Thank you so much, both gentlemen, for joining us and giving us some clarity. So, of course, in the next meeting, that it will be a letter that is going to be discussed. Thank you so much, Shobit, for bringing us that story as well. With that, we are...